This is Greg Carson, former player of the Nitehawks and alumni from 1993 to 1997. Also proud member of the first Cyclone Taylor Championship team in Beaver Valley. You're listening to Hawk Talk with hosts and alumni Ross Simner, Jake Morissette, and Connor Jones. Enjoy the show, folks.
Wait, any game in Rossland is like absolute shit show no matter what year it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we played there already this year once or twice. Yeah.
Oh God, I can't wait.
They're still running that tractor Zamboni up there.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
What's the answer to that one? Do they still got the tractor?
Yeah.
Wow.
If it breaks down, you just pull it by yourself.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's funny. Nelson got an electric Zamboni and Roslyn still has the diesel Zamboni.
Nelson, of course they did. Welcome back, everybody. We got Hawk Talk episode 5. We are back here. We got some playoff stuff a little bit going on, but there's some of the KIJHL playoffs is one thing, but we're going to talk about another little playoff series coming up that might be on everyone's mind. Jake, how you doing over there?
Yeah, doing good, Sammy. Good to see you.
Not a guy. Yeah, Connor Jones is back, obviously, with us. New room, new style, mustache.
New hotel room, new me, new place. It's always the weekend, but happy to be here.
We're just trying to scout out a few more of the senior players. So you grew the old duster up there.
Yeah, just a good conversation starter when I'm talking to players. Be like, oh, this guy gets it. He has a mustache. He's comfortable. I don't want to intimidate anybody. When
you get
players,
the foamy cappuccino stuck in your upper lip. Today's guest, we got Archie McKinnon. Super pumped to have you. Heard a lot about you. Don't know you that well, but we're gonna have lots to talk about. How you doing over there, Archie?
Oh, pretty good. It's almost summer here in Penticton, so.
Right. So you're up in Penticton now. And we're gonna start it right off because there's something they were talking about there when we had you in the green room, but you got a big playoff series coming up.
Yeah, the Penticton Silver Bullets. We're playing the Roslyn Warriors next weekend. Playoffs for who goes to
and
provincials.
The series is in Rossland?
Yeah, it's in Rossland.
Okay, so you're going to explain really quickly why that is. I mean, for most people out there, we know why that's pretty unique and pretty impressive for you to be going back home. But give us a little insight on what you're doing, where you're living, obviously, and then going back home to Rossland.
Yeah, so what I'm doing now here in Penticton, I'm a teacher, so I teach PE and math. And
Had a guy.
as we were talking before we started recording here, I coach too, so I coach basketball, volleyball, and golf. Yeah, so spring season's nice.
That's always a good one.
Ross Simner Jr.
Yeah.
So I've been in Penticton for about 4 years. When I first finished college, I went back to Roslyn for a year, taught in Castlegar. Terry was my boss. Terry
the
Jones,
high school. What's it called there? The high school?
Stanley Humphreys.
I did a year with Stanley Humphreys. Yeah.
And then
you moved after that. You moved out to Penticton.
Yeah. I just did 1 year there, and then I got a job offer in Penticton. I couldn't pass.
You had enough of TJ because he's your coach, and then obviously,
as
a boss, you're like, I should probably separate a little bit here.
Yeah.
How is TJ as a boss?
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Just like a coach, just making a great team out there. It was great. Yeah, it was hard to leave, but
you did.
So now you're playing senior A. You're playing senior A hockey for the Bullets.
Yeah.
And you got a big playoff series in Roslyn. Anyone playing for Roslyn that you're gonna, is gonna have some dirt on you and be able to trash talk a little bit? Anyone out there that you're gonna, or is it just all the fans gonna be yelling at you?
Yeah, Ryan Edwards, he plays on Roslyn. Chris Roche, those two guys I spent a lot of time with, both on ice and off ice. Chris and I both played Nitehawks, grew up in Roslyn, both played college together down in Michigan. We play against each other, which is kind of fun. And then
will you guys fight?
To the trolley tracks? Yeah, trolley tracks gonna catch him with his head down.
Yeah, I'll catch him with his head down.
Boy.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're the two.
Okay, Connor, we got to get the pod out before the series, just so you put this just lives a little rent free in his head there.
Yeah, it's next week, eh? It's
next week. Yeah.
Were DeRoche and Eddie, like those guys you play with your whole time for the Nitehawks, so like they must have been like part of the carpool and all that. So you guys spent I mean, every day, all day together, and you're going to be
Oh
playing
yeah,
against each
every
other?
day, all day.
How is that going to go?
Half-hour drives to BV for practice every day on the way home. Yeah, it's gonna be. We played once this year. We beat them every time. So
I know who I'm aligning with, the Bullets for sure.
I don't know. Sounds like there might be some bulletin board material coming out of this, though.
yeah.
I think so, man. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Arch, I had no idea you're a phys ed teacher, but yeah, we probably have more in common than I think. But apparently, so you start off playing a little bit of house league hockey back in the day. I hear. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
Cut my-
played host.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? I love being switching teams every year. Maybe play for the Rangers or the Stars, or I don't know. Canberra, we had the Red Wings, the Stars, Rangers. I played for all those squads. A lot of house league growing up before I finally made a rep team. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I just had a strong group of guys my age that were good at hockey, so I was just kind of always on the bubble. And usually, first year I'd never make the rep team, so I always play house. And I just midget. We won the house banner my first year midget, so it's kind of fun. I got to play forward, so I wasn't playing D. And then my second year, I was like, oh, I'll play with some of my friends from Roslyn, because normally I'd never play with them. They always play house. So I stayed in house. That year was a tough year. My sister was on my team. My cousin, we was a mixed team. So we probably had 10 girls and like 5 guys on our team. We won one game, forfeit. The other team had forfeit. Yeah, we had 2 players on our team.
You got to work a lot on your
mid-game.
leadership skills and stuff, right?
Yeah. And then got 1 year of midget rep in, which was fun. It was awesome. And decided to try out for the Nitehawks that following year. Yeah, I emailed Terry night before camp just to see if there was a spot left. And he's like, yeah, just bring $150.
Businessman.
Rookie camp, right?
Yeah.
So
how
tell
did
us about
camp
that
go?
transition a little bit. So you remember, so you must have been what, 17?
Yeah. 17 turning 18, I think, that year. Or 18.
You show up with $150 and you just walk right onto the team.
Yeah, not
take
quite.
all your
Couple
summer
injuries.
savings.
Yeah. There's just perfect timing, I guess. Couple guys unfortunately had injuries, so they were up front with me after camp. They're like, you're our 7th D-man. We got a couple guys on injury list right now, so you have ice time and try and keep your spot once you get in games. But yeah, it's just kind of luck of the draw there.
Your first year you get in there, you're kind of getting used to it a bit and starting to play some decent time. And then years 2 and 3, you kind of start really finding your place in the team, right? Like what how was that? Like you obviously took on a big leadership role. You played defense, you kind of held the team together a lot back end, looks like, and you put up some decent points. Go through the next 2 years for us and obviously the team success as well.
Yeah, first year I was just in my head every game. I'm like, geez, if I don't get scored on, we won't. They can't win if you don't get scored on. So my goal was just to get the puck out all the time. And I had a good D partner in Fraser Stang who, would throw his body around a lot and puck would be loose, so I could go grab it. But next couple of years was good. The coaching staff was great in instilling confidence in me. I didn't have huge confidence growing up with hockey. I was kind of just by myself from Roslyn, my age, trying to do things. But Terry, Kami, both commies were awesome in helping me. And next 2 years were great. Had a good leadership group around me for those years with Ari Posmus, Ryan Edwards, Keenan Patterchuk came back. He was good. Oh, I have a story about the first year with him though.
Go into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
On ice, so he was living in Roslyn at the time, so we carpooled back and forth to the rink for that year. And I think it was early in the year practice. We're doing shots from the point, pass it out, the forward goes in front of the net. So we pass it out and I just step into one and it goes right at his head and hits him right in the side of the helmet. And he just turns and looks at me I'm like, oh God, he's going to just skate out here and start beating the wheels off me. And then he just gives me the biggest death glare ever and then skates to the corner. Kami comes up to me. He's like, I thought you were going to die. Like, I thought you were just going to get killed. So yeah, it was an awkward carpool ride back.
I think we've heard about this carpool thing before. Maybe off there. Can you get into that a little more and who was involved in that? What it was like, some of the teammates, the guys that you played with, and the relationships you guys had.
Yeah, it started with I'd say Mikey Vlanich and Chris DeRoche. They were kind of the head guys for the carpool. We'd take the Vlanich's van, which had like seven seats in it, and so there'd be myself, Chris, Mikey, Ryan Dixon, Craig Martin. We had to drive because he was 16. He couldn't drive. Who else did we have? Ryan Baines, so Skidsy.
What a crew.
Boy Chuck was in there for a bit.
God.
Jake Lucchini we picked up once he was finished his season for Major Midget and came for us at playoffs. Yeah, it was crazy. We'd have the door open on the way down to the rink, like paddling past cars. Mikey would pull over middle of nowhere on the way, or A&W parking lot, Dairy Queen parking lot there, and he'd just yell brawl, and we'd all have to get out and start like fighting each other. Yeah. Marty's foot got ran over one time. Kami was in the parking lot, I think, and saw it, and he like ripped us for it. He's at 2 points per game as a 16-year-old. So
yeah, in 50
yeah,
goals.
No, Kami was doing that stuff when he was playing too. Don't worry. Probably just had to step in and say it, right? And then after he gets in the car, he starts reflecting, going, maybe I was a bit tough on them.
I think there's always been a Rossland Carpool anytime, any year. Hey, Jake, like...
Yeah, we had it with our team with the Bernies and Drakers, and I think they picked up Valley on the way.
Yeah, I think the Bernies and Drakes were talking about some retro pay for the gas. And the last time we chatted with them, trying to put in a bill like 20 years later, they said...
Yeah, Terry was trying to get Mikey was trying to get Terry to give us one of his vans when he had both vans. He's like, we're not getting billet fees. We should get one of your vans.
We had a Selkirk College carpool for the guys that were going to school there. But we didn't really think it out much. So me, Margot, a couple others, like we go, but then you realize like sometimes one guy would only have one class. Right. But we're living off next to nothing. So we drive, we get there, and then I'd have one class and Margot would have like 3 classes that day. So you just end up hanging around for like 6 hours, just wasting time and kind of sitting there. Yeah. After a few weeks, like, I don't think it's going to work out, man. I don't think we can handle that anymore.
No brawls in the parking lots though.
No, I'd dummy up Margot too much. We needed a scoring touch too much, right? You can't get beat up by this guy.
Yeah.
So you guys had quite the playoff runs. Obviously KIJHL, Keystone Cup. Can you talk a little bit about those years? Kind of, maybe some how the year went, some highs, some lows, or like any memorable playoff, any memorable playoff things that happened, or maybe when you guys were in a spot where you thought, maybe we won't get this done, and kind of how the team powered through.
Yeah, I'd say there's a bit of a contrast between both years we won. The first year, I think we only lost like 7 games, I want to say, all year. Like we had a very good team. We had a lot of local guys too. A lot of guys that came back after one year of the Nitehawks. They came back, and we were just strong all around. So I think going into playoffs, we didn't have a doubt until we played Cascar, who we kind of split with all year, and they were pretty good. And then I think Game 7 in BV, we had like the rink was packed. They had people all the way around, all the way to the bench. Then I think Cascar scored like 2 goals right off the hop. I think we were down 2 right away, and Mikey Vlanich calls a timeout. Terry doesn't even know what's going on. None of the coaches like, what happened? Like, Mikey called the timeout. So called the timeout, kind of settled things down, and we came back, and I want to say Eddie got the empty netter to seal it after a 2-goal lead there at the end. I think I remember that. But once we beat Cascar, we knew it was we had our minds with smooth sailing.
After that,
After that, we had Fernie. I think we beat them in 5, and then we swept Kelowna in the finals.
Awesome.
Kelowna was a bit of a upset on the Okanagan side there. I think they beat Asuyas, but
Yeah, the facts come through and you're giving a little fist bump when you see who you're playing.
yeah.
I do remember the fans down, but like when you were so at capacity and you had the fans, like especially the guys that were having a couple pops in the parking lot, and they come in and stand around and pretty much almost get to your bench, right? Tommy Meeks would be in the middle, and they'd be like 2 guys over, and they're kind of looking at you like, "Hey, like fucking go, buddy," and you'd be like, "Holy, these guys are right at the glass." And then two people, 4 or 5 people down from there, it was like some young kid, billet kid with like a sign up holding it against the glass, right? Like it was pretty incredible.
What year was it when you stood in front of the bus with my dad? Was that before the Keystone? Like, was that the turning point of the season? Like getting back and like go
Hey,
into
hold
that
up. We got to get the whole story here because I've only heard little snippets from other
my
people,
God.
and they refer to it as a bus tour that everyone knows. But you're in front of this bus too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, give it all up for us here.
This was I think this was my second year, yeah, because I tried out for trail that year. So I tried out for trail, I didn't make it. And so Eddie got called up to trail that year.
Sorry to cut you off. You couldn't make it, or you didn't have enough for the registration fee for the I'm joking.
I didn't
All right, go on.
So I think we're in November. Lead up to this is November that year. We won like 1 game. I think it was the Dog Days. It was a tough month. We went like 1-9-2 or something. So December rolls around. Friends with Eddie and Ryan Edwards, and we're talking. He's not having the greatest time at trail. He's just not getting what he thought he was going to get up there. He's still putting out points, but wasn't enjoying it. So I'm like, yeah, well, happy to take you back for sure. And he comes back. I think he has a practice with us, or maybe he just comes to the rink. I can't remember exactly. And Billy Burks was the coach, which ends up getting hired by Terry, which is pretty funny. Tells him like, hey, we're not releasing Eddie's card. So they aren't going to release Eddie's card. Okay, well, deadline's coming up. We really need this player. We've won 1 game in a month. Could really help us. And he's a good guy. He's been on Nitehawks before. It's not like he's going to a different team. So Saturday morning walk, Terry texts me. He goes, you want to have the walk over at the Kaminko Arena? Sure. I get there. I talked to him a little early. He's like, yeah, trail's going on a little bit of a road trip, but they won't release Eddie's card, so let's just pick it in front of the bus.
Incredible.
So we know quite a few guys on trail. That like Jake Lucchini's on trail. He's on the bus. We're all standing in front of the bus. He's texting guys. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" So
going for a team walk. What does it look like?
Yeah, going for a team walk, and we're standing there, and I still remember it. The bus starts to like slowly move forward once they're all packed up. And Terry turns around and just puts his hands on the bus like he's gonna hold it back with his hands. So of course, I'm trying to be a leader at that time. I'm all putting my hands on the bus too, trying to push back.
That a guy.
And then it kind of just starts. They slowly go away, and everyone's a little heated about them not releasing Eddie's card at that point. But it was. We still talk about it. A lot of us still talk about it.
Oh, it's a like a folklore tale there. But so then he does end up coming back to BV, right?
Yeah, he does. I think there's a deal struck. No more hashtag free Eddie on Twitter. Had to be canceled.
Oh, the Twitter days. Gotta look that up. It's gotta be some archives.
Some guy, yeah. So my uncle still call him Free Eddie. That's his nickname. Yeah, I know. We had to take all the hashtag Free Eddies down from Twitter, and they would release his card. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
God, the power of Twitter, never knew.
Power of Twitter, 2012.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'll be on there later looking at some Free Eddie shirts at the Valley Village or something around here. See if anyone turned one in lately. So then you guys go deep. Obviously the KIJHL, you take that down. What are the memories there after? Tell us after. Are you guys allowed Did you seal it out in Kelowna or in BV?
We sealed it out in Kelowna. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
how's the
good
bus
fun
ride?
ride home. Yeah.
Any wrestling in the back of the bus?
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, Keystone Cup.
Yeah, and then the next year time we won, we went to the Cyclone Keystone. We won the Cyclone in Nelson, which was pretty sweet because
Oh,
we got to
Nelson
bounce
was
them from playoffs and bounce them from Cyclone. It was huge. Yeah, we tied them 2-2. So the Cyclone allows ties, which is kind of interesting. But yeah,
well, we know. Jake and I know the ties in cycling. Or not,
Yeah.
no, sorry, not cyclones, like Keystone. Yeah, the Keystone ties as well.
yeah. But no, we played pretty well. I think we dominated them. We just could not bury. But I remember on the bench, there might have been 10 minutes left in the third around there. Player on Nelson gets a pass and deliberately turns his stick so the puck flies into our bench. I think he was trying to hit Terry, to be honest. But I'm sitting on the bench and right beside me, it just cranks Eddie right in the teeth. He gets like 7 teeth like pushed back into his mouth. And his mouth is just leaking blood. So I'm kind of chuckling a little bit because it's kind of, he goes to talk and it just kind of spits out blood.
Hard not to, right? Because your buddies, but you're like, fuck, but
yeah, like thank God that wasn't me. But he's like, I go, Teeks, Eddie needs you. And Eddie's like, Teeks, he's just dripping blood. Teeks is like, oh boy, come over here.
Teeks the dental
like
assistant.
But yeah, then we beat Victoria 2-1. Our goalie stood on his head. We got outshot, I think, like 60 to maybe 15, 20. And we played in the finals. We were down in the finals, I think 3-1.
really? Who's that against?
Aldergrove again. So we're playing Aldergrove.
Oh, really?
So
you guys beat them early on, and then
and then they somehow made it through. Yeah, I don't know.
Who was your goalie that year? You guys had that
We had Brett Clark. He's from Grand Prairie.
Clark. Yeah.
We we only had one goalie going into playoffs that year because our other goalie just went home randomly.
Yeah, you had like four other goalies playing. It looks like there's a group of other goalies in there, but Clark, it was your number one. It looked like he put up some pretty awesome numbers.
Yeah, he did well for us for sure. Yeah, I think Dallas scored the 3-2 goal, and then Dallas probably scored the 3-3 goal again, and then we went.
That's incredible.
Hey, Arch, what was it like watching Dal in those playoffs? I just remember, like, have you ever seen a guy that dominant?
Yeah, I still think of it every year I've played hockey, even since then or before then. Like, he was just the most dominant player I've ever played with. I could only imagine having to, like, if you had to play against that guy, I don't know how you'd stop him. He's almost 6'5", like thicker, big guy. He's got hands, the best hands I've seen, and the most accurate shot. So just impossible to stop that guy.
Sorry, I was just following up on stats there as well, man. It took me a while to get through all those. There's quite a bit of stats calling there for players on your team there. That's pretty impressive. Hopefully those guys, players like that, it's pretty awesome that you guys all did this together, and it sounds like you guys keep in touch. And I know there's some stuff coming up. There's a couple alumni things coming up, Connor. I think we have a alumni meeting coming up, and there's gonna be some stuff going on this summer, right?
Yeah, we got the alumni meeting coming up. We're planning out the banquet and golf tournament August 19th, I think it is.
Yep.
And yeah, we got lots going on. It's been fun. It's so just kind of stay tuned on that and kind of mark it off that you can get back. And I think it's going to fill up quick, and it's going to be a great.
Yeah, Arch, it's like your group sounds like they're pretty tight, and hopefully you guys can all keep in touch as well, right? And try to rile some guys up.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get some guys to go in there.
You had a ton of local guys on both those years that played, so which is kind of great, I think, for one, winning, and just kind of getting everyone back together too. Like, you play with a ton of your buddies, which was really neat.
Yeah, playing with your buddies growing up, and then playing with BV with them is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, he's not doing much in August, so hey, he's got a little
bit of
time.
Prep work for PE.
Oh, we do, buddy. Oh, we do. It was a great time, man. It's nice hearing from you and finally getting to like meet you, hopefully in person as well at some point. Jakey, Connor, hopefully you guys are doing well during the last couple months of hopefully last month of winter, right?
You bet.
Yeah,
And we'll be
doing
filling
good. Thanks,
everybody
Jimmy.
in after the final alumni, the AGM meeting for the year. And check in on Connor will be sending out a newsletter coming up pretty soon with more details and everything like that, and how to get involved and how to stay involved. And go Hawks, right? Let's get going here.
Yeah, let's go Hawks. Big one. I think they played last night. Did they win last night? Do you guys know?
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
My dad doesn't text me if he wins or loses. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I say good luck. You can't say
He's
win
trying
or
to drive
loss.
the website numbers, buddy.
Yeah, no shade. Get the viewers.
The analytics matter these days. All right, fellas, take care. Have a good one, and great catching up.
See you, boys.
All right, see you guys.
Guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Arch.
Hi, listeners. This is former Nitehawks player and captain Morgan Peace from the 2017 to 2020 seasons. I hope you're enjoying the show. Make sure to follow us on social media at BV Nitehawks Alums and to visit our website at bvnighthawksalum.ca.